All right, so now we're at the main riff in Paradise City and the verse section. We have two guitar parts going here, and the first one you're going to learn is guitar 1 in the main riff and the verse. So it's going to sound like this. This is really kind of the main guitar part. And it goes back into the main riff again. So what's going on here? We have basically it's a kind of a chromatic riff. 3 on the 6th string, then 1, 2, 3. So we have this. So that's the first 4 notes. Then we go 1, 2, 3 again. So far we have this. Now when you get to that 3 that we just played, the last one we just played there, it's going to start this little 3 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 phrase. So we go 3 to 1, back to 3 to 1 again. Then we do 3 1 again, but the 1 this time is going to be on the 5th string with a little bit of vibrato on it. So we have pretty simple, so let's put it all together here. We're starting with 3. So basically, the second time we did that little 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you know, when we did that 1, 2, 3, the last 3, the second time through, is the beginning of that 3, 1 phrase. One more time. 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1 on the 5th. So that's the only note that's on the not on the 6th string there. All right, now we do pretty much the same riff again, but instead of that last note just being on the 5th string 1st fret by itself, you're actually going to play a quick 3 1 on the 5th string. So we're still doing everything the same, except that in place of that last note, you play those 2 notes. So we have this. All right. Now, the third time playing through the riff is the exact same as the first, where you're just ending it playing just the 1 on the 5th string. All right. So far we have this. Then we're going to have this 4th time through. It's a little bit shorter. So we basically go, we start the same, so the first 4 notes are the same. Starting with that 3, then 1, 2, 3. But then we do a chromatic line 0 on the 5th string, 1, 2, 3. All on the 5th string. So we have. Now when you get to that 3, you do a slow half step bend, and then pick 3 and 1. So we have. All right, so the whole phrase. All right, then we get to the verse. Now the verse is just a little bit more muted with a couple of chords, kind of double stop stabs in it. So we're going to start the same. So everything was the exact same right there. It's the same riff, that we did it before. But you see, I'm just slightly muting it a little bit, just bringing it down a little bit. We're just muting it with the back of your palm here. So we have. So what we're going to do here is, instead of playing this last note in the riff, so this is the first time through the phrase, just like it takes like 4 times through the riff to get through the whole part that we did before in the main riff. Now this verse riff, this is basically whenever he starts singing, it's going to be the exact same riff, but it's just going to be muted. And in place of this note here on the last note that's on the 5th string here, we're going to play the top half of that power chord, it's a B flat power chord, which we're going to take here at the 2 middle strings at the 3rd fret on the 3rd and 4th strings. So we got this. Instead of this, we just play that. And let that ring. The rest of it's muted, but this, let that ring. So we have this so far. All right, then we do the same riff again. Now remember before when we went like this in the main riff, when it was 3-1 the second time through it? Well, we're still going to do the same type thing here, but instead of just 1 double stop, it's going to be double stops here at the 5th fret and then the 3rd fret. So it's pretty much the same riff. Now the 3rd time through here in the verse is the same as the first, with just the double stops here at the 3rd fret. And then the 4th time through is going to be this. So that is starting the riff, just 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll just play a power chord at the first, the B flat power chord at the 1st fret on the 5th string, then up to the 3rd fret. Then we're going to have this little phrase here. We're going to have 3rd fret on the 5th string here. We're going to do a slow, little quick little half step bend and release. Then pull off to just pick 1 on the 5th string after that. So we have bend and release on the 3. Pick 1, then do a pull off from 3 to 1. Then go 1, 3 on the 6th string. All right, so all together. All right, so now we have the second guitar part. Now for the main riff, the second guitar part that went around, the first thing we learned here was the main riff for guitar 1. Now here's the main riff for guitar 2. You're going to be doing this with guitar 1. This is kind of is a little bit chunkier, and it kind of just doubles and just beefs up that low line that wasn't muted. So it's going to sound like this. Here's the let me go ahead and play the whole part from the intro, the main riff into the verse. Here we go. All right, so we start with this main riff here. The 2 5s here at the 4th and 5th strings, play those together. You can borrow them. I like to play the 3rd and 4th finger. Then 3, 4 single notes on the 5th string. Back into these 2 5s here. So it's going to be basically the same riff. But here we're going to be playing more chords here. Those 2 5s together. Single notes 3, 4. Back to the 5s. 3, 4, 5 again. So we got this. And once again, when you get to these 5s the second time through, you're going to want to start doing the 3, instead of, in this case, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, we're going to go 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3. So it's just complete double stops, which is 2 notes together, 5 and 5 on the 4th and 5th string, back to the 3 on the 4th and 5th, back to the 5, rotate back and forth. And the last 3 is going to be, I'll move it over to the the 3rd and 4th strings, the G and the D strings. Look at this. Now continuing with the riff, now the second time through. So that was the exact same as the first. Instead of just playing the 3 on the 2 middle strings, you're going to play a quick 5-3. Just like we did down there. Now the third time through is going to be the exact same as the first. And the fourth time through, a little bit different. And that is just going to be kind of more laid back. We're going to start at the same, 5, then the 3, 4, 2 5s together. This time when you get to the 5, the second time, you're just going to hit the 2 5s, then the 3s at the 4th and 5th string, and then reach over and do that 5-3 with the double stops. All right, it's a little bit, so it'll go perfectly along with the main riff that you learned for guitar 1. So just make sure you know what's going on there, and then that riff, that guitar 2 part would be a lot easier to understand, and just if you have another guitar player, do it. If not, do guitar 1. It probably makes more sense to do that by itself. And especially makes more sense if you don't have a second guitar player not to do this next part, which is now when the vocals come in, the verse section for guitar 2. It's a little funky, really muted, kind of a random part. And he's doing something like this. He's just basically got his 3rd finger hit the 5th fret on the 4th string. Just try to create like a funky feel on that note. And then reach over and grab the 3 on the G string. And then back down. And then do 5-3. So it's real similar to the main riff. And then back to the 3, so the third line was just the same as the first. We had this. And we're going to end it with this little line. So that is just 5, 3, 5 on the D string, and then 3 and 5 on the G string, and when you hit that 5 on the G string, you do a series of slow bend and releases. You can hear those bends pretty well on the recording. The other good part of the line you can't really hear that well. So these bends. Then we do this little line that complements what this part for guitar 1. What's going on is going to do a half step bend. Half step bend on it's going to sound kind of out of tune. It's a little disjointed sounding, but we have half step bend on the 5th fret on the 3rd string, and then grab the 5th fret on the 2nd string while you do it. And then keep bending up a whole step bend. Let go of that 5 on the 2nd string and just put it up to a whole step bend, pick it. This is the 5 on the 3rd string, then pull off the 3, and then pick the 4th string twice on the 5th fret. All right, then you would go back into the main rhythms and stuff, and then back into this verse section, okay? And that will take us, after you've gone through those 2 sections a couple times, it'll take us into the chorus, which we're going to take a look at in the next video. Stay tuned.